pangambang military base ng China sa Panatag Shoal, ating pag-uusapan kasama si Rear Admiral Roy Vincent Trinidad, Philippine Navy spokesperson for the West Philippine Sea. Rear Admiral Trinidad, magandang tanghali po at welcome po sa Bagong Pilipinas Ngayon.
Yes, magandang hapon sa inyong lahat dyan at sa mga taga-subaybay ng programa. Good afternoon, everyone.
Sir, ano po ba ang saklaw at pamamaraan po ng surveillance ng Philippine Navy para masabing walang namomonitor na construction ng military base sa Panatag Shoal?
Yes, alam mo, Yusek Marja and Yusek Aboy, yung ating AFP, we use all sources of information, all sensors available to us, sea-based, land-based, air-based, and even space-based. We have regular patrols by sea and by air. Kung kinakailangan na eyes on tayo, pinapaliparan natin o pinupuntahan ng barko. There are different indicators that would tell us kung may mga nag-uumpisa na bang reclamation activities on Baho de Masinloc. So far, what we have monitored ay yung mga buoya lamang nila, yung tali na pinangharang sa entrance, and yung illegal presence ng PLA Navy, Maritime Militia, and the Chinese Coast Guard sa Baho de Masinloc. Wala tayong nakitang any form of reclamation or construction inside Scarborough Shoal.
Admiral, speaking of presence, ayon sa ulat, mula February 15 hanggang 22nd, may 4 na People's Liberation Army at Navy at 5 Chinese Coast Guard vessels sa Baho de Masinloc. Maaari nyo bang ipaliwanag kung ano yung mga aktibidad na ginagawa nila at ano yung mga karaniwang mga activities na ginagawa nila sa lugar na to?
Yes, Yusek Aboy, the presence itself ng PLA Navy, Chinese Coast Guard, Maritime Militia is already a concern. Kahit wala silang ginagawa doon. And ang ginagawa nila, hindi lamang sa Baho de Masinloc, but even sa West Philippine Sea, ating mga features doon. Naandun lang, nakaangkla o nakalying to. We call that lying to. Naka-steady lang. Just to show that it is theirs, they occupy the space, they monitor kung sino mga lalapit doon sa kanila. Paminsan-minsan, pag may dumadaan ng mga barko natin from BFAR, Coast Guard, o mga aircraft natin, even from other countries, they get subjected to coercive and aggressive actions. So, hindi naman ito mga nagpapatrolya lumalayag, most of the time naka-steady lang ito. We call that lying. Depende sa lakas ng hangin o lakas ng alon, they would transfer sa kabilang side ng shoal na kung saan mas banayan, mas mahina ang tama ng hangin o ng alon sa kanila.
Okay. Sir, sa usapin naman po ng umano'y missile deployment, paano po natin natitiyak na ang mga armas ay posibleng nakamount lamang sa mga barko at hindi nilalagay mismo sa shoal?
Yes, alam mo, makikita naman natin kung may mga launchers. Una sa lahat, ang mga launchers, hindi naman pwedeng ilagay sa shoal yan na hindi sila mag-reclaim. So, unlike yung mga ibang features sa West Philippine Sea na reclaim nila, Mischief Reef, Subi Reef, Johnson Reef, these are already fully operational military bases. May mga military aircraft doon, may mga warships doon, may mga military-grade sensors, communication systems, and weapon systems. Sa Scarborough Shoal, Baho de Masinloc, wala tayong nakitang ganon. Yung mga barko doon, part naman ng mga modern warships ang merong missile systems. So, most likely, these are the missile systems na mounted sa mga warships. Installed sa mga warships na nagpapatrolya o napupunta doon sa Baho de Masinloc. Walang anumang missile system sa Baho de Masinloc sapagkat ang gitna ng shoal, kung hindi siya tubig, ay shallow water. So, hindi po pwede maglagay ng missile system unless otherwise these are mounted on the ships.
Okay. Sir, sa kabuuang bilang po ng People's Liberation Army at Navy at Chinese Coast Guard vessels na monitor sa 4 na pangunahing features ng West Philippine Sea, sir, paano po ba ito ikukumpara ng Philippine Navy sa mga naitalang bilang noong mga nakaraang buwan?
Before I go to the numbers, Margie, the concern here is hanggat may illegal presence sila. That is already an issue for us. And since 1992, 1995, yung illegal presence ng PLA Navy and then sumunod na join yung Coast Guard, and then eventually yung Maritime Militia, has already been there. Hindi na sila umalis within our EEZ. That in itself is our main focus in the long term. But in the short term, we monitor their numbers. Yun ang nire-report natin on a weekly and on a monthly basis. The report last week was covering 15 to 20 to February 18 ang namataan natin. Iba't ibang barko ng PLA Navy at ng Chinese Coast Guard on the four main features that we monitor. The week before that, I think it was 14. The week prior, I think 19. So it's a fairly constant number. Doon lang naglalaro yung nila, yung numbers nila. Unless they would like to surge. What do I mean by surge? Pag pinapadami nila, kung halimbawa meron tayong activity na haharangin nila, pinapadami nila. Kumukuha sa ibang barko, either from mainland or from Hainan, or from Paracels, or even as far as Mischief Reef or Subi Reef. But yung numbers on a weekly basis, these are just to give us a picture kung ano ang trending nila. But the bigger issue here is yung illegal presence in our EEZ since the early or mid-90s.
Admiral, I want to expound on that particular point, no? Kasi iba nagpapakonsulto na bagamat sinasabi ng iba na mas mababa yung bilang ngayon kumpara noon, nananatili pa rin yung tinatawag ng illegal presence ng mga Chinese ships na to sa loob ng ating exclusive economic zone. Ano ho ba yung mga konkretong implikasyon nito sa ating soberenya at maritime security?
Malaking implication ito. And we have to understand the bigger picture over a longer period of time. Bigger picture, long term. Yung bigger picture and long term is yung illegal presence nila. Doon tayo concerned. Let's not forget na yun talaga ang pinaka-issue natin. Before we go to any discussions with them, before we do anything, let's not forget na nandyan sila sa loob ng ating EEZ. Doon tayo dapat mag-umpisa kung may mga usapin man tayo. Anong implication nito? Little by little, we call it salami slicing. Hinahati-hati nila, tinatagpi-tagpi tayo, dahan-dahan. And they think in the long term, 10, 15, 20 years span, mahaba sila magplano. Tayo, our political timeline, if I may look at it this way, being a democratic country, 6 years tayo. Sa ibang bansa, 4 years. Yung iba siguro 5 years. Sa kanila, lifetime. Hanggat hindi namatay yung leader nila, siya ang nagpapatakbo. So ang continuity of his program or of the party program, the Chinese Communist Party program, hanggat buhay yung kanyang leader ay nagpapatuloy yan. So we have to understand the bigger picture here. It is yung nahimasok at hindi pa umaalis ang PLA Navy, Chinese Coast Guard at Maritime or EEZ.
Sir, nabanggit po kanina na naka-ankla nga lang itong mga vessels na ito, pero from your monitoring po, mayroon po ba nakikitang pagbabago sa galaw o deployment pattern ng People's Liberation Army, Chinese Coast Guard at Maritime Militia sa Baho de Masinloc at iba pang bahagi ng West Philippine Sea?
I would like to compare over a longer period of time, 2024 and 2025. Kasi mas makikita natin doon yung trends o yung patterns. In 2024, ang movement hindi masyadong integrated sa Coast Guard or sa Maritime Militia. What do I mean by that? Pag gumagawa ng coercive and aggressive action ng Coast Guard or yung militia, nasa malayo lang sa horizon yung PLA Navy. In 2025, nakita natin, mas malapit na sila sa Coast Guard at sa Maritime Militia. The overall annual difference, yun. Bakit sila mas malapit ngayon? Sapagkat ang thrust ng Chinese Communist Party is integrating the different forces. Interagency operation. Mahina sila dito. Unlike Western democracies, mas nag-uusap-usap yung ating mga iba't ibang ahensya ng gobyerno. Sa kanila, masyado naka-stovepipe kung tawagin natin or kanya-kanyang silo yan. An example of this of not so good coordination was yung August 11 last year na nagbanggaan yung kanilang barko ng Coast Guard at ng Navy nila, PLA Navy. Actually, sa sidelines, tinatawanan natin sila because our commanding officers know kailan delikado na magkakabanggaan kayo. And we have the freedom of action. Tayo mismo ang nadi-decide at gagalaw tayo para maiwas at maging safe yung barko. Sa kanila, walang ganon. So that is the direction in 2025, 2024, integrating the different government agencies, the different party agencies for joint and combined operations. Yun ang malaking diferensya. So we will see sa 2026 kung ano naman ang maging trend nila.
Sir, sa iba naman po no, na balita, kamusta po ba yung pakikipag-ugnayan po ng Philippine Navy sa iba pang mga ahensya tulad po ng Armed Forces of the Philippines at Philippine Coast Guard sa patuloy po na monitoring ng Bajo de Masinloc at iba pang mga shoals gaya po ng Ayungin, Escoda at Pag-asa Island po?
Alam niyo, Yusek Marcia, no, we have to give credit where credit is due. Nung binanggit ng ating Commander-in-Chief that the AFP is now shifting from internal security to external defense, this was in 2023 during his visit sa Visayas Command. Hindi alam ng AFP what to do. Anong ibig sabihin nito? The Secretary of Defense mentioned in 2024, January, when he visited Batanes, we will be implementing a comprehensive archipelagic defense concept. So the AFP had to reassess how we are doing things. Ang isang malaking shift in the way we are doing things when we shifted to external defense under CADC is closer coordination with other government agencies. Bakit? Hindi lamang itong AFP ang mag-i-implement ng security and protection ng ating EEZ. There are other agencies that are players in the maritime domain. Kagaya ng BFAR, kagaya ng Coast Guard, kagaya ng PNP, Maritime Group. Meron tayong government and non-government efforts or entities involved doon. We have the academe, yung mga nagkakandak sa mga maritime survey and research. The AF had to accommodate and do closer coordination with the other government agencies. Ito ang isang malaking takeaway for the CADC. Not only actually sa pag-protect ng ating maritime domain, but sa kalawakan ng defense and security ng ating bansa. We are now more involved with other government agencies.
Sir, hingi na po kami ng detalye dito po sa naranasang interference. Habang nagsasagawa po kayo ng maritime patrolling, nakaranas po kayo ng interference sa signal. Tama po ba?
Yes, alam mo, itong ginagawa sa atin, kasama ito sa coercive and aggressive actions. Yung pag-activate ng fire control system, yung laser pointing, yung physically, inanudge ka ng barko nila, magka-cut across the bow, yung magcha-challenge sila, mag-broadcast ng mga malign messages, fake messages that you are entering Chinese airspace. Kasama pa rin dito yung pag-interfere sa ating communication systems and navigation systems. So every now and then, hindi naman parati, every now and then, yung ating mga barko at aeroplano ay nakaka-experience ng interference mula sa ating mga systems, navigation, communications, and other sensors aboard ship. And ito, yung mga warships o mga Coast Guard vessels nila, or kung malapit ka sa bases nila, artificial bases, galing sa bases nila.
Admiral, bago ako magtungo sa tanong ko, no, gusto ko lang ipaabot sa inyo yung aming paghanga, pagpupugay at pasasalamat sa lahat ng miyembro ng AFP, lalong-lalo na sa Philippine Navy sa inyong walang hindi matawarang katapangan at dedikasyon sa inyong serbisyo. Admiral, paabot nyo na lang yung mensahe ho namin sa inyong mga tauhan. Pero sa kabila ho ng mga ulat at spekulasyon tungkol sa pagtatayo ng base at paglalagay ng mga missiles, anong ho ba ang inyong mensahe sa ating publiko upang tiyakin na aktibo at tuloy-tuloy ang pagbabatay ng pamahalaan sa West Philippine Sea?
Yes, maraming salamat, Yusek Abo, Yusek Margie, and Joshua. No? First and foremost, yung hinaharap natin dito, hindi ito matatapos overnight. Ito is intergenerational. Pangalawa, hindi ito problema lamang ng Palawan o ng Batanes. Ito ay problema ng buong bansa. Existential threat ito sapagkat ang kinakaharap natin dito, ang threat sa atin is tagpi-tagpiin yung ating bansa. Ayaw naman natin na ang maipapamana natin na Pilipinas sa mga next generation of Filipinos ay isang Pilipinas na 6,000 plus islands na lang, ika nga, di ba, na nabawasan. So the AFP, the Department of Defense, and I believe even other government agencies, we are doing everything that we can with all that we have to ensure the integrity of the territory, to protect our sovereignty. Hindi lamang ito sa maritime domain, where we have all the ICAD activities, even on land, where we have foreign interference and malign.
Right. Admiral?
Okay, sir, maraming salamat po sa inyong oras. Rear Admiral Roy Vincent Trinidad, Philippine Navy spokesperson for the West Philippine Sea. Mabuhay po kayo.